let's talk about a crisis that honestly can happen to any of us at any time. Water damage. It's one of the most common and most destructive things your home can face. But you know what? Understanding what happens next is your absolute best defense.
So, picture this. It's the middle of the night, and you hear a weird noise. You get up, and oh no, a pipe has burst, or the water heater has finally given up. It is a homeowner's nightmare scenario. So what actually happens when the water inside your house just won't stop?
The thing is, the water can come from just about anywhere. Sure, you've got the big, dramatic disasters, like a burst pipe flooding your basement. But it can also be a quiet, sneaky problem, like a slow roof leak that you don't notice for months, or a window that isn't sealed quite right.
Now, here's what you've got to understand. The water you see is only the start of the problem. The real enemy here, it's time. With every single minute that ticks by, that water is on the move. It's soaking deeper into your walls, your floors, and your home's structure, turning a simple fix into a massive catastrophe.
Okay, so let's get into the most critical window of time after water gets in, the first 48 hours. This is it. This is where the battle is truly won or lost, because a clock starts ticking the very second things get wet.
And this is exactly why there's such a rush. Once stuff like drywall or wood gets soaked, mold isn't just a possibility, it becomes a certainty. And it can start growing in as little as 24 hours. No joke.
Let me break that down for you. In the very first hour, water is already wicking up the walls like a sponge and seeping into the floors. Fast forward to 24 hours, and that moisture has basically put out a welcome mat for mold to move in. And by the 48-hour mark, well, things like drywall and insulation are often so waterlogged and damaged, they're a lost cause. They have to be torn out. So if you only remember one number from all of this, please make it this one: 24. 24 hours. That is your non-negotiable critical window. Acting inside that time frame is the single most important thing you can do to stop a water problem from turning into a full-blown mold and structural nightmare. So the worst has happened. The clock is ticking. What now? Well, this is where the pros come in, and I'm not just talking about mopping up. Real water restoration is a scientific, step-by-step process designed to actually reverse the damage. Generally, a professional job unfolds in 3 big phases. You've got emergency mitigation, that's stopping the bleeding. Then you move into the really science-heavy part, structural drying. And finally, once everything is truly dry, you get to the restoration phase, where they put it all back together again.
Phase 1 is all about immediate damage control. The team rolls in with these huge truck-mounted extractors and just starts pulling out all the standing water. The goal here isn't to dry anything yet, it's to get the bulk water out, ASAP, to stop it from spreading even 1 inch further.
And this right here is why you can't just set up a couple of fans and call it a day. Properly drying out the structure of a house is a marathon, not a sprint. We're talking 3 to 7 days of running huge commercial-grade dehumidifiers and air movers around the clock to pull that hidden moisture out of the wood and drywall.
And only after everything is verifiably dry, I mean proven with meters, does Phase 3 kick off. This is the rebuild. It might be simple, like replacing some trim and painting, or it could be a major project, like putting in new floors and walls. This is the step that makes your house feel like home again.
But how does this all work so well? Well, it's not magic, and it's definitely not guesswork. There's a real science that guides the whole process, and that's what separates a permanent solution from a quick fix that just hides the problem. First off, not all water is created equal. You have Category 1, which is clean water from something like a broken supply pipe. But then you have Category 3, or black water. Think sewage backups or floodwaters. This stuff is seriously contaminated, and the rule is simple. Anything porous it touches, like carpet or drywall, is a goner. It cannot be cleaned, it has to be removed. Professionals aren't just winging it. They follow a very strict industry playbook called the IICRC S500 standard. Basically, it's the official rulebook for water damage, and it makes sure every single step is based on science to get your home dry and, more importantly, safe.
And this is a perfect example of what I mean by science. See, dry isn't just how something feels to the touch. It's a number. According to the standard, wood framing has to have a moisture content below 15%. Drywall, it has to be below 1%. Pros use special meters to prove that these targets have been hit before they stop the drying process.
And to get those results, you need the big guns. We're talking about serious, industrial-grade equipment. Powerful extractors, high-velocity air movers, and really cool tech like thermal imaging cameras that can literally see hidden water behind walls.
and those calibrated moisture meters to get the final proof.
All right, we've gone through the problem, the timeline, and the science behind the fix. So now let's get to the most important part. What should you do if this happens? This is your official water damage playbook.
The second you find a leak, here's your 4-step action plan. 1. If it's safe, find the main water shutoff and turn it off. 2. Call a certified restoration pro immediately. Remember that 24-hour clock? 3. Start taking pictures of everything. You can't have too many. And 4. Get on the phone with your insurance company to start the claims process.
And here's a little something that can be a huge financial relief. Most professional restoration companies offer what's called direct insurance billing. That means they work straight with your insurance company to get paid for all the emergency work. It takes a massive financial weight off your shoulders when you're already stressed out. Now, when you make that call, you need to be in control. So you should ask these 3 key questions, and the answer to all of them needs to be yes. Are your technicians IICRC certified? Will you give me daily moisture readings and documents? And will you work directly with my insurance?
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. After seeing just how fast a little leak can spiral out of control, you have to ask yourself, is my home prepared for this? Do you know where your main water shutoff valve is right now? Do you have the number of a certified pro saved in your phone? Because being prepared is the one thing you can do before the crisis ever hits.